Partner.
I don't want it.
Well, if Tom comes
Okay,
in here
it's
today,
9
I'll
o'clock.
ask him to.
And
Oh,
everybody pretty much knows me. I'm Brenda Simmons. And we have this committee, and the purpose of this thing today is to determine what millage is going to be on the ballots and when they're going to be on the ballots. Because we all know there's several ballot issues, villages that will be on it. On all 10 villages on one ballot. That's our goal here. And on this form right here, there's our back, there's a back, and you can use this as we go along. On the back, it's, February, May, August, November. You can write in what millages are gonna go on when, so you will also know. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, I need people to, I don't have anything.
Oh, here.
Oh, here,
Thank
Brenda.
you. You got a sign sheet?
What deal?
I actually went. and told them. Here, write mine, and I didn't bring a
Thank you,
pen.
Karen. Keep me in order there. Thank you.
The girls that they need to go, everybody's heads cut off. Well, they can't
So,
go anywhere.
I'm passing a sheet, around. Everybody can write their name, phone number, what organization they represent. So we know who is here to do it. So let's,
Introduce ourselves while you're doing the sign.
what?
Introduce ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll go around the table from here, there, your last, you guys be on the, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Julie Darton, Michigan State University Extension 4-H.
Denise Simmons, Ogemaw County Register of Deeds.
Ray Blamer, Director of the Ogemaw County Public Transit.
Karen Pawlowski, your Ogemaw County Treasurer.
Mike LaFave, friend of the court director and probate and family court administrator.
Tracy Turner, I'm the Chief Deputy County Clerk with accounts payable.
Jeff Nickel, Veterans Office.
Charles Woodsey, Ogemaw County Commissioner.
Nick Vaughn, Ogemaw County EMS.
John Sheridan, Director, West Branch District Library.
Karen Michael, Horton Township Supervisor, President of the Library.
Edmund Susan, Corporate Finance.
Allison Green, President of the Shelter of my.
Tom Tibbs, Vice President.
Linda Miller, Churchill Township Treasurer.
Carol Gilmer, Commission on Aging. Hi, Carol. We've seen you forever. And of course, I'm Brenda Simmons, and I'm supposed to be conducting this meeting this morning, and so we're gonna go ahead. On the back of this, you already see that the foreign road patrol is on for February. And the Headley and West Branch Road City School will be on for May. That's already been determined. Okay, so you know what those two are.
Also, Ogemaw Township will be putting one on in May. They voted at the last meeting for a fire millage for Ogemaw Township.
So Brenda over there.
West Branch District Library, May.
Churchill Township.
And the filing deadline for May is January 30th, I believe Breck said, for the May election. So if you haven't already contacted Breck to let her know that, you'll want to do that.
January 30th, right? We don't have to have the wording or anything like that, do we?
That's just your intent to put
Okay.
something on the ballot. The ballot wording is like due like a couple weeks later. She didn't give me that.
Okay, so everybody understands. I think
You want me to take it over?
Let's do what?
Your intent to put something on the May election is January 30th. And then the wording is usually a week or two later.
You need something hard back.
I have the dates for the rest of the elections. If you want me to go get them, I will.
Please, Tracy.
She just handed them to us yesterday, so.
Hey, Charlie, do you know when we want to attempt to get the transit going? I would think sooner the better.
Yeah, May's the next one.
Well, everything we just listed was for May.
As we start to discuss here,
We got 1,
It's
2,
gonna
3,
be-
4, 5, 6 on there already.
overloaded.
And then Mandy. can take care of it.
After show.
Phone's got it.
Always grab it. Yeah.
Ogemaw Township. That's for fire. What's the last one? Ogemaw Township. Fire millage. What are you millage for? A road.
Jeff. Jeff,
Who we
do
know?
you think this is off to Randy?
I need to sign that too. Oh, no, not that.
It's against the wall. We'll get it.
And what else? did they-
Roads.
Okay.
Just spongy moth, gypsy moth.
Yes, fun sheet.
I think if any of us are talking, we might want to.
That's gonna be else. Okay, cool.
Because we all have a hearing issue. How does that sound, Brenda?
What?
I said, everybody feels in their mouth that some of us have hearing issues.
Or they could wear hearing aids like me. For everybody.
All right, you want the dates now?
You know, about these hearing aids, I can turn them up. If somebody's talking, 50 feet away from me, I can hear them. I love these hearing aids. Then I can just turn them back down again, so I don't have to snoop anymore.
Did you hear Tracy?
Okay, Brenda, I got the dates. All right, to file for the May election, January 30th is your deadline. The August election, your deadline is April 30th. And for the November election, your deadline is July 30th. That's the date you have to notify Breck that you're going to put something on the ballot.
And the verbiage is like,
It's usually a week or two later. She didn't give us those dates, so
and the one for this one is already.
this one's done. Ballots are already mailed out, distributed to the local clerks.
What was the deadline for that?
Oh, that was
Third,
back in,
something like that. December.
it was back in December.
5th, something like that.
Okay, it doesn't. I know. So we have 6. Is there anybody else that's considering May?
The shelter is considering anything that would not cost us. So we are generally open to anything, but we do need to not pay for it. So,
I understand that completely.
So how much are you guys asking?
0.2.
And that's for what again?
For running the shelter for. So 4-year, right? 4-year, 0.2. Brenda, could you repeat?
We could do that in August, I guess.
The ones that are set for May,
Please.
you have the Headley, the school millage, Ogemaw Township, library, and your 2 Churchill.
And you wanna do like, in August?
August would be fine if that's.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to pay for any more at this point.
Yeah.
The May is a school election.
Okay.
August and November are the presidential, so
Okay.
at that point, it's at the township level.
So then we're good with. Be good with August.
I am, the West Branch Road City, they're on for May, right? Okay,
So I can speak for EMS, Nick's with EMS, but I'm on the EMS board. So we're looking for a 0.5 equipment. Something in either May or August. What's your thoughts, Nick?
I
Doesn't
think-
say anything to you, or-
He didn't have a preference. I think, August is better with all the other ones going on. I
August,
think so.
for EMS, right?
Yeah, and that's that would be a 0.5 equipment.
Okay. The COA will be in August too.
Commission on Aging.
August, thank you, Carol.
I have a question on the COA. Is that a renewal?
Okay,
What is that?
175.
Veterans will be in August also.
Which one will I,
Veterans,
in August, okay?
Renewal, right?
yep,
What's that, Jeff?
0.8, 0.08,
0.018.
0.08.
Right.
You
And that's renewal.
may be thinking, no, I haven't been that high.
there's two veterans.
Yeah, there's a 214 that doesn't go on a ballot.
That's 0.08, but the other veterans are 0.08.
No, the other veterans is only is like 1/25th of a mill.
0.12470 is one of
Almost
them,
nothing.
and the other one is 0.04. See if I'm lining that up right.
Yeah, it's 0.1247, it's like
0.18 mil, yeah.
0.08.
Mhm.
1/8 mil.
It's, yeah, and then the Veterans Act 214 is 0.04.
Well,
I don't have the best.
it's not very, see, we had,
1/8 and 1/25th, no, 25th mil.
0.125.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah.
let me do it anyway, because I didn't spend it. Well,
Yeah, but the 1/25th doesn't go on a millage
golly,
ballot, so.
So Ray, for transit,
Huh?
Yes, it does.
for transit.
Yes, it does.
14?
What do we have?
214,
Does
no, but
Yeah,
that's
the one-
point,
Yeah, that's.
point
oh, I guess
04.
0.4, yeah.
0.04.
Yeah,
At the
14 does not go on the ballot, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
We're at
The other one's up,
0.30
yeah.
now. And with the two millages that we had, it was 0.60, and that was. I didn't have a lot of time to deal with it because of COVID kicked in, but that would have probably just covered expenses for them with what we get from the state and federal.
I know at our transit meetings, we had discussed 0.75.
Yes,
But we don't need to, I mean, that we can have more discussion on. I guess we just need to figure out when. For transit then as well.
well, I would say August, because if we don't make it, we've only got one more to go.
It's a renewal.
Not a renewal.
Create a new one to cover what wasn't there.
Yes,
So it won't be any extra really.
oh, yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
I thought you had two millages before.
We did, but the one dropped.
I
Expired.
know that. But
So,
those two
so we're, between those two millages, we were at 0.60. And the one millage is 0.30, which is going to be up next year. Or this coming year.
So you're asking for what?
Well, it's been discussed 0.75. And like I just stated, that 0.60. I guess before COVID may have covered the cost, but there's no way to determine because it takes 2 or 3 years to get our information back from the state.
I don't
Well,
understand.
We'll do this. If we feel August is good, let's do August and our committee meeting next week. We have time to figure out what exactly we want to go for.
Level wise,
So August for transit,
August for transit.
Because there isn't any other between August and November, those are the last two, right? Yeah,
Commission on Aging. Oh, I've got here someplace.
August.
August,
August.
and that's a renewal.
So we haven't talked to the library yet then.
We're going for attendance. Our penal fines have been 60% have disappeared.
Right.
And that was almost half of our funding. And now with inflation, we're suffering badly. So we're gonna go for attendance.
Is that gonna,
5 years.
is that gonna
for
give you enough to repair the elevator that you've been having issues with?
Well, the elevator has been repaired. We took that out of our savings.
Okay.
And it'll be 4/10 for 5 years.
So with that 5-year cycle, are you going to be on an off year that you're going to have to pay for a renewal? Don't you want to keep on a cycle where you don't have to pay?
Make sure we're on the cycle, John.
Even number.
Even though,
No, 5 years should make up to 28. If it starts at 24, it's 24, 25, 26, 27.
Okay,
That's what you said, Randy.
5 years would bring you, it would expire in 2028. So you can do a renewal in 28. Is the 4/10 the renewal what you currently have or additional? Additional. That'll be additional. And then at that time, we'll consolidate both of them into one millage.
You have a millage now then,
Yes, we do.
so both of them will be on the August ballot.
No, just the one.
So the one isn't up yet.
No, the one, that other one won't be up till 28.
Okay.
Part of the issue lies in man, John. Everybody knows how Karen complained about our elevator issue, so yeah, we scraped our things. Now we are down to 2 full-time people, 2 at that library, and 3 part-time. We pay insurance for 1 person. That was something else that was suggested to cut. John doesn't get insurance because he's a former retiree. So the only one, if you know Amy Winter, she's the only one getting insurance. Now, we really cannot cut our girdle any tighter. Unless we supposed to. That's fair enough. We're pushing it every way we can.
I have a question.
Yes.
So obviously been a huge decrease in these funeral funds. There's been a huge decrease in the tickets, which I know was a big money generator for you guys. So with that being said, that's across the whole, libraries are hurting across the entire
That's right.
state.
Right.
Is there any type of strategy or game plan that libraries are working with the state or funding or any type of grants or?
Well, we have in the past tried to get the state to follow the Ohio program, which is to give libraries throughout the state what was it, half of the state income tax revenue and distribute it on a per capita basis. That has gone nowhere. They've tried twice so far. And right now our state aid is 50 cents per person. And there is some talk about maybe having the state increase that to $10, because that 50 cents was put in 1979. So 50 cents doesn't go very far. I think we get $5,000 from the state. That's it.
50 cents per resident?
Yeah.
You should get more than 5, but still, that's not a lot of money.
No. And it's only in our library district. It's not the county as a whole. It's only in our district. Then Rose City, Ogemaw County District Library, they cover the rest of the county and they get the state aid for what's left in the county from our district.
For the West Branch Rose City Schools, is that a renewal or a new one? We're here. Oh, they're going to have it on the ballot in February.
February. I think that's everyone, isn't it? Are we missing?
Okay.
No, I think that's everyone.
Commission on Aging is August.
You have Rose Township and Richland in those days.
No,
Rose Township's got a renewal for their roads and Gypsy Moth on the August ballot. And Richland Township is doing a new millage for the Prescott Library. And I think that's either the August or November.
so they have Rose has got Gypsy Moss and what else?
Rose.
Roads.
They're both in August.
Yes.
Richland was new.
Yes.
How much? Oh, no.
I'll have to look at it. It's like a quarter mil. It's not a big millage, but they want to raise about $10,000 a year to support the Prescott Library.
November.
Are there any more stakeholders of townships?
Horton is not running a millage. Is not running a millage.
Say what?
Horton is not.
Okay,
We're gonna try and keep our costs down and support what we presently have. We know how to scrape.
yeah. Any other townships? Okay, so right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 6.
Can we go over the?
Well, it's Churchill, but it's 2 separate villages for Churchill.
No, I still have 6.
Hadley, West Branch Rose City, Ogemaw Township, West Branch Library. Churchill's got 2.
Yeah, that's 6.
That's 6. Oh, yeah, I counted twice. You're right, 6, thank you. Because I have it on 2 separate lines, so I count both lines.
I did the same thing.
So there's 8 then, Am I correct for August? And there's nothing for November.
Didn't you say Richland Township Library was talking November?
I have to look at it, it's either August or November.
Oh, okay.
I think she went to Richland.
So that's in there down August.
My guess is those that don't pass on February, May, or August are going to continue on through to November.
But don't forget the deadline is July 30th.
Yeah.
For November.
So
So-
August can't.
August won't know their results
Right.
in time.
No, but couldn't you still, let's say we're thinking about it, and then if you pass it August, take it off?
Probably if you have an intent, you can probably just notify the clerk that your intent, and then if you don't turn your wording in,
So it has to be in August, so we-
I guess I don't know what the to withdraw that intent date would be. Cause she's gotta, type all that stuff into the QVF system and so she's not here today, so I can't ask her. Works.
So that is the situation, so maybe, so if you. This is May, this is July. So if something doesn't pass in May, then you have time to put it on the November ballot, is what we're saying,
Or February, yeah.
or the February, yeah. But if you're going on in August, there is no chance to submit for another go at it.
Without paying for a special election.
So if the shelter wanted to get on in May, would we have to pay? All those other.
At this point, no. The only one that would have had to pay is the February ones because that's only the presidential, so they would have had to pay for those additional, whatever additional cost it was to put millage on the ballot. And because the May has a school election, the schools got their millage on there, I believe everybody else just kind of coattails on that.
And your intent has to be submitted by the end of this month.
You'll let us know.
Yeah, we have.
In the May election, you said the school has said everybody's on right. Are you applying that the school paying for that?
The school usually pays for the May election. If I'm,
I'll double check, but I think we've been,
okay,
so. I will double check.
okay, yeah, don't quote me on that, but I always thought that May election was the school election.
It is a school election. But my understanding is that it's not the responsibility of the school because everybody else is on it as well. So I will. double
Okay.
check it.
And we paid last.
Randy, do you know any of that?
In our county, if we wanted to put an issue on the May ballot, we had to split the cost.
You had to split the cost, okay,
But
For
I'm
the
not
school,
dealt with it.
is that,
It's a school election, and if there's no other issue.
oh, they split, okay,
Yeah.
But if somebody else is on that ballot, then they need to split the cost with the school, is my understanding.
okay, so split it equally,
I have no idea. I
Okay.
stay out of that.
is there any way, would you check with Brett to see if there's any way we can find that out, Grace?
yeah, I'll have to get a message to her, I don't know what she's doing today.
Because like Churchill Township is only doing a township issue, they wouldn't split the entire ballot cost with them because it only affects one township. So they may end up paying a prorated share. for
Okay.
Their
For
township
just their township,
Our library would only, if they had to pay only for those
or
that
the
are involved with
district.
us, yes.
So I think there's some type of formula with that, but.
yeah, I don't know that formula then.
According to the state of Michigan website that has a timeline for elections, the ballot wording, the intent to have something on the ballot is April 30th for August, but the wording has to be completed by May 14th.
Yeah, it's usually a couple weeks later.
It's the same for the whole state.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Do you have that for November?
Let me scroll down.
And for May.
And for
For May, I think that's on a different document, but I'll find it. Sorry,
That's okay.
I'll find it for November.
So we're saying the only ones that can,
So wouldn't you?
the only one that can get a second chance is at being on the ballot is the ones that are on
Right.
May. Because it's not
And
gonna
then-
be an
Well,
election
unless
in November.
you're
So yes, depending on what she says, if it's August.
Depending on when the wording's required, if it's before the
Then it would.
election
No
is
one on the
out.
ballot, it's already passed.
Typically, if it
that, it
fails in
depends.
August, you're allowed to go on in November, so you might have to do a notice of intent, but they
And just-
already got the ballot language.
That's what we were just discussing, the dates of
Yeah, if you
when the
look at the
wording was due.
timing, if your intent is July 30th, you're not gonna know if your August measure passed.
Right.
But you have 2 weeks to submit so you submit your intent on July 30th, you have 2 weeks, which is gonna encompass the election, You'll know, you'll have your language ready to roll. If you don't turn in your language, it doesn't go on the ballot, right?
Go on.
November ballot language is due by 4 PM on Tuesday, August 13th.
Yeah,
Roughly a week after.
First
the election.
Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
already have the
Okay.
version.
Tuesday, August.
So I mean,
That's probably-
It's after the election day, which is the 6th.
Did you find out when the verdict?
For the May.
I'm gonna look at it. It's a different document. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Sorry. I should have opened my computer. Ballot wording for the May ballot is due by 4 PM on Tuesday, February 13th. So deadline for ballot wording of proposals qualified to appear on May ballot, certified to local or county clerk, Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 by 4 PM.
So then if someone's on the August ballot, they still have time then to get the verbiage in. They already have their intent in, but you already have the verbiage, so.
You have like a week turnaround, basically.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
All right. So November is blank right now then, it looks like.
It's a plan B for everybody.
There's enough going on in November.
Exactly, pending for everybody.
Yep.
That's right.
And with those 9 days to vote.
And May and August could be more too, depending on if the ones don't pass in the prior election.
Well, there's other local units.
Right.
That have millages that expire that may be renewals on as well. I know several of the townships had other issues. We just haven't heard from them yet. But they typically go in August, so there will probably be more in August.
Yeah. Excited.
So right now,
Yeah,
shelters,
you still. November, okay. Big question, November.
shelter is the only one that's not on right now. Stakeholders here today, right?
They
No,
want to be on in August.
Me too.
Oh, you guys, do you want to be on August?
Yeah, we're on August right now. We're full on August. We have a meeting on Monday, whether that decides to move it to May or not. And if there's a cost to May, then obviously that's a no, so.
But then you
August
still
is
have
our
time for
best bet
November.
right now.
Mhm.
August is our best bet, and then, we have a little scapegoat. For November.
Right. No cost. Okay. Well, there's a lot of things that are coming up this time, so. Either November is gonna be empty, or November is gonna have a lot of villages on there that they need to pass.
Let's hope not. Let's hope May and August were a good success for everyone.
I hope they are too. Well, February is too.
Brenda, are you gonna supply everybody sitting here a copy of this? Make sure we all have the same notes on this side.
Everybody's got a copy. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think. Well, not right now, because I've got to put it together.
I know.
Okay. You can do. Make it available here.
Should have had it 5 minutes ago.
We had a lot of things.
Brenda, you know who I am.
Anybody think of anything else at all?
I just want to say I'm here because we do have a millage, but I talked to Tim, we're gonna, MSU extension 4-H will be in 2026, a renewal, not planning an increase. It's an 8-year millage, so, funds collected in 2025 should be able to carry us into 2026, so our intent would be to be on a ballot in 2026.
Is there election in 2026?
Yeah, there'll be a gubernatorial election, so we'll probably be on the governor's primary election.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
you're welcome. You might be looking at me and being like, why is she here? Just to look up information for you.
So in that case, let's talk about when MSU is gonna put back on again. Then these things here, if it doesn't make it, beyond that same year.
Right.
to-
Understood.
To renew, so. I mean, to, because some of these
Yeah,
are brand
yeah, the
new,
millage, yep, exactly.
shelter's real new. Well, the transit's new because they're asking for,
Nomination.
libraries,
We're asking for more.
yeah, well, then it's new. Churchill's a renewal, right? Yeah, Commission on Aging's a renewal, right? West Branch Rose City School is a renewal also. Headley is not. Shelter's new, EMS is new, Houston's renewal, Veterans renewal, Grants new. The library is new, right? No. Rose Township and Richland Township, those renewals?
Yes.
Richland is a new village for the Prescott Library. Rose Townships are renewals.
Okay.
Actually, I think Rose Township has 3s. I think they have a fire millage as well.
But that'd be a renewal when they're,
Yes, yeah, they'll have roads, fire, and gypsy moth, all 3.
Is there any? Mentioned prorated, any idea what that cost is?
You'd have to talk to Brock about that. I have no idea what election.
Yeah, I don't even know how she would figure it out. You'd have to figure out how many. Obviously, if you're looking at someone that's on the whole county and then all you need is so many ballots with your specific.
This is
So-
different ballots than what would be if it was just a school election. It's the same ballot for all the units in the district. But every time somebody else is on, it's a different ballot. It's a different printing.
I mean, I think she can probably, after this election, give you a good idea of how much ballot printing is per ballot kind of thing. Just because we have this issue right now with millages on the president, we've got kind of that issue going on right now.
that's,
So she should be able to give you some sort of idea per ballot for printing, but I don't know how testing and all that works yet. Because we haven't tested yet.
my question. Any other? Issues, let's go around. Any other issues, MSU?
No.
Register, do you see any other situations? Transit,
Nope.
treasurer? Report, you don't have any? No, no. And you're gonna talk about how much the millage will be at our next meeting next week, right?
For transit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You okay? Yes.
When we're looking at all the county villages and the authorities. Need to seriously look at staggering the dates, some are 4-year or 6-year or 5-year, so that all the elections are renewed again in 4 years. I mean, it's unfortunate that all of the county villages are up for a vote in 1 year. And so when you're looking at that as part of the strategy, those need to be broken out, so you're not having the same situation.
In other words, instead of having a 4-year, they may want a 2-year. So it comes again up in 2 years again.
4, 2, 6, whatever they want to do. My point is just they need to space the millages out, so there's not all of them coming due on the same year.
So the length of the millage is important here.
Hey,
Yeah.
Larry, so the transit is on a 5-year right now, correct?
It could be, I'm not sure.
So if we were to want to extend that and still be in a voting year so that we don't have to pay to renew it, how much longer would we have to run it if let's say we're at 5 years now?
So when you're looking at the years on your balance, a lot of times they're in a 5-year millage and people are, so 5-year millage in 2024 goes through 2020. You can do a renewal in 2028. And 28's already approved, you would start drawing the next millage in 29. If you do a 4-year, it would expire in 27. You could also do the renewal in 28. You don't have to do an odd year election unless it expires on an even year and you don't get it in that year. So it's just looking at the dates on the election and how you want to set it up. One of them mentioned theirs is going to expire, MSU's is going to expire at the end of 25. They're going to go for 26 for the renewal. They could in theory do a renewal this year, but they're subject to rollbacks every year that you do that. So you don't want to do it too far ahead. So, but they're going to go and write it out and go with the faith that it'll be in 26, it'll be restored.
Well, I was just surprised to hear that some of these millages are actually 8 years. I wasn't aware
Some are
they,
10 years, some of the fire
Really?
departments, and road villages, I think Rose Township, they're 10-year millages that they're going to renew for the fire department and road. So you have different options when you're setting those up. So, and that's my point. We talked about it 3-4 years ago. The county said, geez, all these are up at one time. We need to space these out. Well, it hasn't happened. And now it's worse this time than it was previously.
It's really bad this time.
It is.
Everything's, everything.
That's my point. When the commissioners are looking at it and working with the different groups, we need to make sure some are maybe 6 years where they can go out to the, 28 or 30, so that we have a different time frame for some of the elections.
Maybe you should just discuss that soon. Like even today, if anybody knows. Just think about it.
Well, when we met with Tim, he advised us to go with 4 years, just because of the rollback and things like that. But I want to be opposed to shelter to go out 6 years to help balance the.
We're hoping that at the end of our millage, we don't renew, we don't need to renew.
We're gonna really gonna push on to
We're
doing it
pushing
now.
with the endowments, we're pushing all of the things that we.
Not that we don't need.
And not this. No, we just, we're at a point where we have no choice. So this is our option, yeah.
But if we went,
Do a
if we
6
did
year.
a 6 year, I think we'd be okay with that to help balance the. If the commissioners would, looking for volunteers, we'd be happy to.
So what you're saying, you wouldn't put on for renewal?
Well,
They would give us, they
we're
would give us
hoping
an extra
in
year
4
to build
years,
up our endowment.
yeah.
If we went with the 6 year.
Okay.
But Tim is one that advised us to look, go into 4 years.
So you can discuss it at your meeting this week?
Yeah.
And I don't think the rollback would hurt us.
So that's one thing we need to think about, so all of us need to think about. So when you do your millages, hopefully they're not all the same amount of years, because this will happen again if it is.
Well, sadly, we didn't learn last time, so we need to learn this time.
Yeah, we do. Well, Brian never even thought about that last time, yeah.
Well, I think this is a good process, especially at least for the county mill. You can't control local units. But by looking at everything on a spreadsheet and saying, we need to, because the commissioners have approved the ballot wording for all of the county. And so you can definitely set years up for different periods.
When you're doing this, you may want to think about, so they're staggered and talk to each other. Or when you talk to us, when you talk to the clerk's office, you may want to find out how many years the other villages are, see how many there are. So we're not all
Right.
coming together.
The biggest challenge for the shelter would be if we went 6 years, 6 years from now, do we have to pay to get on the ballot? Or what's your renewal? Is that cost included?
Depends on what cycle of election you're
You're in
in.
2026, aren't you?
That's Yeah, we have an 8-year millage that was voted in 2018, so that's why we're looking at 26.
So you don't have to pay for it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't pay for it.
If you're on the August, November, you don't ever have to pay for it because that's already part of the.
Already.
May is a school election.
Oh.
That's why the school doesn't have to bear the cost of the entire election.
Okay.
If somebody else is using them.
So you're thinking August and then make it, put it back on again in November? Okay, you just have to have your intent for November, but you can always pull that intent back, right?
As long as it's before the wording's due or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Did I say that wrong? Okay. Anybody here can think of anything that we need to talk about, or when we need to make things happen? I'm one person, that's why you're all here, so we have more heads.
I have a question.
Yes,
Is the sheriff's department looking any more seriously at giving out tickets or?
I have no idea, it's up to sheriff.
I hear the same answer from everybody. Thank you.
Oh, he's in charge of that, I can't say.
No, I understand that, Brenda, but I would have thought it could have been shared with the commissioners. I mean, because the whole township will be affected.
I understand that,
I know you understand.
I do understand,
I sent a message over, so I guess I can show up. It was doing.
yes, you will,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but I can't answer that,
I know, I understand you can't, but I thought maybe somebody here had an idea.
no idea.
Look at these blank faces. I love you guys. Thank you.
That's why we're having this meeting, so they don't look quite so blank when it comes to the May election. Okay. So court and road patrol are gonna be on this February ballot. Okay, is everybody satisfied? Satisfied, everyone's satisfied. And you have your phone number and stuff on there, so we have some questions to ask you.
I'm gonna say the sign up sheet didn't. come back.
Tonight, sign up sheets right there. I don't think everybody got any of the sign in. I know I didn't.
Young lady right there.
Yeah. So, they didn't put our phone numbers on there.
Pass around, would you please, so everybody can put their phone number,
What my phone number
or
on there?
email, or whatever.
Private phone,
I've already got your number.
all right,
I've already got Transit's number,
you got my number, I know.
and I'll never give it to anybody else again, promise. After that little talking.
Can I borrow your pen too? Thank you.
Yeah. Just what I already have or something. We already have yours, transit, I already have Ray's private number. So we get a hold of him. He's a county entity, so he's not a township. But yeah, it would help us, because if we have questions of you, if we have your phone number, then it'd be easier for us to contact you versus saying, oh, man, how can I get a hold? So. I will, we'll work on this to get this out to everybody. But when the villages will be on the ballot. Right? All right. Okay, I hope everything down here, right? I've read it a couple of times, so. November is just open for those who can even. May or August, February. Okay,
Or meet here March 1st, same time, same place.
that's when our budget committee is, meeting. And, we meet all the time because we do county things. We don't talk about, we're gonna be talking about unfunded mandates. Well, no, we can't. If the
Oh.
mandates, we have to have,
Okay.
but those are not
Non-statutory.
required by law. We're gonna be looking at those, because if things don't pass, we have to be ready, and we need to be able to tell the people what will disappear. Let's say, for instance, the Headley. And it would be on the flyer that we put out. If the Headley doesn't pass, this will go away. And we'll stand by that. We've already had do some layoffs, did not like it, but we're broke. We are broke, folks. The county is broke. And that's bottom line. So the non-mandated stuff, these villages, the Headley doesn't pass, then we'll have a plan already in place about what leaves.
How much is the Headley again?
The Headley is, well, that's an increase of a millage. We're at 6.09, which is 7.2. So it's over a mill. And we have lost, Karen has some information there in a flyer that we just started. How much money we have lost through the years. And in some cases, in millions.
Yep.
And we can't keep running like this. We were using the ARPA money that came in to help balance, and we're probably using that.
We operate with negative cash. We have a negative fund balance. It's the worst position financially the county has been in the 25 years I've been here.
So in other words, we're just breaking the rule.
So now when we say
Not
it
good
goes
business.
away, it will go away. It has to, because we can't, those other funds that we used to use to help balance the budget are gone. Whatever we do that.
How much does 1 million?
Almost a million, isn't it? Almost a million,
Roughly $1 million.
close to a million. So. But see, a lot of our problems,
With the Headley override would put them at just about what their budget shortfall is.
yes,
I mean, that's, let's say it's not going to give them an extra, that's just going to put them
Fill the hole.
solid with their current budget.
right,
Able to stay at
Because-
minus.
because that's money we're not
Yeah,
getting
it's
now.
not excess money that they're gonna be able to put away from that, that's just to cover today's costs without the ARPA money, 500,000 being plugged in there and stuff like that.
I like to hear about when people don't pay taxes, we still have to take them.
What's that, Ryan?
When people don't pay taxes, we still have to make them whole.
Yeah, that's tax settlement.
Another thing that if somebody doesn't pay their property taxes, we have to make everyone whole. You have a mill, we have to make you whole, because that's your mill. And we have to pay out the money. So we get hit twice, really. We get hit because people didn't pay their taxes. So we gotta make up for that. We don't get ours. Plus, we got the Headley rollback. And then we've got unfunded mandates. Just like veterans now, 100% of disabled veterans, when they apply for it, they don't pay property taxes. And some of them have been joining their property, so you see where that's going. And the DDAs get their portion too. And there's nothing we can do about that. So there's a lot of things that take away our money that we have absolutely no control over. None. They're mandates and you have to do it. We have the state pays a lot of it now, but we used to pay all of it is for indigent council, but the people can't afford. We used to have to pay,
Still pay the same amount.
yeah,
They're just getting more because they're also getting funded by the same.
right. But they're using it up to,
Oh, yeah. And when I mean, they still pay the same amount, they still pay the same percentage, which goes up every year.
yes,
Yes.
and we have no control of that either.
And even though the county's growing, right, there's a few more people, there's growth, right, new businesses. Inflation,
Oh, yeah,
grows at the same time, that causes the Headley to kick in, right?
Well,
yes,
90% of the commercial growth that's gone on the last 3-4 years has all been in DDA districts, so the county realizes no tax.
No caption from that.
Whatsoever. I think West Branch Township DDA has increased almost $10 million in 5 years. And so that's just tax revenues that aren't received from anyone.
The new growth on the west side of town is all Ogemaw DDA, so we don't gain from that either.
it's Brett Myers and all that. Yeah. That is,
And they use more of your resources.
Yes.
yes. Maybe they should pay to use their resources. So, any other questions? Just some information I wanted you out there, because just because the millage is like 6.09 doesn't mean that we get all that money. There are a lot of people that don't pay the taxes.
About $3 million a year right
Yeah.
now.
That's a lot of money.
So between the county's property share, state revenue, what is the county's total revenue?
We're running about a $12 million budget
Right.
from all resources.
That's for all the fines, all the fees, everything. That comes in, yeah. That's all that.
And state revenue continues.
But the inflation that has just happened the last couple of years, has been a real killer. I mean, I go to the store and I can tell it myself easily. I mean, I was always like, didn't have to worry too much, you know, now I have to think about it. And the cats eat better than I do. Cause the cat's gone so much. I mean, everything. Well, I can't shoot them. Sorry.
Well, they're not
That's why
paying
my friend
taxes.
tells me,
Those cats aren't paying taxes.
okay, if there isn't anything else, I'd still like to have the budget committee people stay here and everybody else can go. Cause we have our own little thing that doesn't even,
Thanks for having this meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody have a good day.
phone number on that piece of paper.
Not everybody.
Quick thing before you.
Put your.
One moment, please. Just because library filed an appeal on what happened with community in West Branch. I do want you to know that's been thrown over. And we are supposed to be getting our money because the courts here didn't read it right. From John's headache and my scratching in the board like I did, I apologize, but it's important.
It's right here, 10.
I'm sorry, sir, I just rocked right over you.
Oh, so anyway.
I'm not, no, I was making my way over.
Well, I think this is worthwhile.
Oh, you gotta know, you're fine.
I just tried to count it.
Jill Van lady.
Sorry. Heard that meeting. The lady over there.
The emergency
Yeah.
around common.
I said you're correct. That- Is there any way?
People still get arrested.
Yeah.
The what?
It's on the news last night.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Was
About what?
Cause
Filing.
my defendant,
So what it usually.
him and I are gonna
Your
tango.
board minutes,
With Viviana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you have anything in your board minutes saying that you want what you want,
Viviana.
that is sufficient. Breck is not here today.
Yeah.
You get
So-
ranked?
Yeah.
That's who you have to file it with.
He what for?
Who altered?
Himself?
Tracy, you'll have, okay.
Yep.
You want 2 copies?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, just if you have it with you,
can't make it up.
okay, just
I haven't had
you have Breck's email.
I'm going into my 14th year.
Wouldn't give it.
Ready?
Yeah.
That's her last name, first initial, so Gildner
He
B.
was set up with her, I made
I
it.
can't even get
At
it off my
OCMI.
face.
That's how it was when I got,
Are you kidding
I got,
me?
I was contacted by
At
the
ocmi.us.
company.
Yeah.
Because they have never been told by a defendant that the court
US, United
had
States.
ordered
Okay.
something differently than the
I'll be
paper
right
they
back.
got from the
Just
court.
just send those minutes to her.
Remain with me.
That's your time.
Never done that before.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, well, thanks. No.
Oh my
He put
God.
right out over top of the,
You're kidding
I don't feel
me.
bad that he hit the news.
Oh my, well,
I missed the.
except that it reflects on the whole
No.
county.
Well-
Makes us all look bad.
No, he's not you guys.
Oh my gosh.
I missed the first part of the conversation. What happened?
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
Viviana whited out.
When you read the full history and, you know, the,
Issued
oh, you,
by the court
drunk driving,
for the
the,
bond.
Full history, yeah.
My,
uh-huh.
I said his bond, his pretrial release order, you know, has go to magistrate signature
Thank you for allowing us to join you.
Thank you. Yes, thanks for
white out.
coming.
over the times that I said
Yes,
that he had to blow and sent it to the company that
yes, you
is in
too.
control of his device.
Stay safe in the blizzard.
So then with the whiteout on it, he copied it or emailed it to
Somehow.
him. And that whiteout should have shown,
You can see it perfectly, yeah.
and they didn't question that?
No, they did, they contacted, that's how I found out, yeah, they
So
contacted.
you have new charges for that. That's some type of fraud.
Well, no, it's a bond violation, but I mean, he's got enough, don't worry, he's got enough. And the way that he's spoken to me at the window, I've just about had it with him, so, sorry, I have no sympathy for that man.
we've been super kind about the media, you know,
Mhm. Professional courtesies and what have you.
and it kind of all just blew up when his attorney waived his arraignment, because then it's public record. So, and they call like 3 times a day.
Mhm.
When did they wait?
Sometimes it's maybe Wednesday,
Okay,
it's Friday, Wednesday.
recently though,
Yeah, oh
because
yeah.
I looked recently to see what the.
Yeah, I know.
There was no new news last week.
Oh, it's there, it's there
It's all out there.
Oh, yeah.
The charges and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Who is this?
Viviano was on the news last night.
Oh. I was gonna say.
Good hire.
This
I
is
think it's
still being
embarrassing for our whole
recorded,
county.
right?
You know what? It's embarrassing.
This is recorded, right?
We still on.
We're still.
That'd be nice.
It was a bad deal. Here's our 3-4 years. and you get-
Public record.
Any hour going away.
Oh my gosh.
Years. Oh. A lot of this.
What do we say? Hey, Tom, when we got up and everybody's talking.
Yeah.
Back it to there and start.
Yeah, yeah, we are on sort of intermission, so,
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I mean, I'm assuming we're on an intermission because our chair isn't sitting here in front of the meeting.
I went out to get papers to give to my insurance agent and they're still in the car, so I didn't run that far. I figured we were done.
No, she wants to talk about our flyers and wording.
So who has telephone number?
My cell phone, I mean, I do.
You want me to text out?
Yeah.
What do you need?
To take off everything that was just being discussed.
The YouTube, when he uploads it, we don't need the intermission conversation.
So you need to definitely.
That's what I'm saying. So if anybody could,
Oh, you can talk. you can talk.
Yeah, I'll,
It's very important that.
I will call him right
Yeah.
after this meeting.
Uh-huh. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't
He
know that
stops
this
it-
Karen, please make that an important.
I absolutely will.
If he stops it now and rewinds it, I don't know if he can rewind it or
sure-
cut it off.
I'm sure he can.
He's on, right? Isn't that him? I don't know.
I don't think he's listening though. He's in.
No, he usually has it turned down.
You normally listen.
yeah, there he is. There he
Hey,
is.
guys, just so you know, Tom can edit this, so if it's posted anywhere, it'll be edited. But just keep in mind, right now, those of us who are on Zoom can hear everything. So just be aware.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, it was all in the news last night. I listened to them. 6 o'clock news.
Have you seen Russ Cummins' millage? You haven't seen it? Oh,
Why would we?
I didn't know if it's just been a hubbub. It's not a Headley, it's like a 911 emergency management, public safety millage.
Yeah, I know.
Public safety millage.
How much is it?
1 point. Got it, my,
They tried to head me over, right? It didn't work, so.
So they're adding other things to it.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I really. Nice meeting you. Bye. Okay. Talk about Headley. We could give, do you think we give everybody one of those? Okay, I didn't get one. But it doesn't matter. I know what it says. Okay. This is, good catch, Brenda.
Good catch, Brenda.
This is, the first thing was done is, you know, when flyers are done, it's a little one, you think, well, you can probably do this one better. But when something on one sheet of paper and it's just all written there, it's like, get tired of reading it. So,
Are you leaving, Ray?
Excuse me, I just gotta get my coat and my phone.
okay, so
And here's your,
Karen and I talked, went through this and,
here's your, handout.
sort of my idea.
Linda had
I
it.
ran with it, so I did this yesterday.
Let that just.
And this is what the flyer looks like
Everybody touched
now.
it.
Yeah,
Have a good day, Ray. Feel better.
I'm getting there.
And Denise, yesterday, she said, no. Where are the things you're gonna cut if this doesn't pass? Cause we did tell the people, we would tell what we're gonna cut.
Which when
It
we,
has to be on this flyer.
when we talked, Randy, we talked about putting it on the back of this sheet of information. So
But we have room on this flyer, cause there's extra room really where she puts up.
Ross comment said that that was one of the reasons they felt theirs failed, was because they didn't have a clear line of communication to the public as to what would be cut, what services would be lost.
Well, even in a trifold flyer like this, you can have a backside.
Yeah.
You can print and the cost is not gonna be, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. But at least then it's big enough, you can have large print, you can read it, I mean.
Yeah.
But you can put what's at stake or something and put it on the back, these are potential cuts of these.
But you could. Or
I mean, or you
you
can
can
put it on the front.
or you can just have a flyer that opens like this. Two. Cause this is three pieces. You did it on the back, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
Huh?
That didn't make sense to me.
No.
Okay. You see this flyer? It's 3,
Yes.
right? Got it? If you had just a fold here, you'd have 1. The back is 2. 3 and 4, because you got 4 sheets. It's 4 sheets of paper. If I rip this off, I've got
4 sides.
4 sides. So instead of having a trifold, because right now I'm only doing 3 sides. So if I have an extra side, I'm in for saving money, but it's gonna be my money.
Okay, but are you printing it on paper like this? Because then it requires an envelope.
I understand that, but this is the trifold, but we can probably get them folded.
If you do a cardstock, even cardstock folded is going to be. You don't fold cardstock, you're gonna have it like that, right? That's not folded, it's just two-sided.
A lot of it depends on what are we gonna do with these flyers. Is this something you do a mailing to county residents? Or is it something, a one-page flyer can be inserted in the ad liner, the paper, pretty inexpensively? Even with a postal service, that's the thing during elections, you can mail them. They've got a bulk rate, they can hit everybody in the county. So part of it is, I don't know that a trifold would work like that in the mail. I'm not sure, because normally it's either cardstock or a flyer like that. So there's 2 things. We have to decide, what are we gonna do with these? And how to distribute them. And then the second thing is, the commissioners have to decide what the cuts are gonna be. We can't make that determination.
If you do a
And we need
trifold
that
like,
Certainly before we do this.
Yeah.
It's already being worked on right now.
Yeah.
At our next meeting, we should have what's gonna be cut, March 5th, we should know.
What were some of the things?
if you're gonna do a paper
I
like
haven't even
this,
looked
you
yet.
gotta put it in an envelope.
Tim's working on that right now.
Otherwise,
So,
yeah.
Non-mandated,
and that adds
Cost.
a great expense. Because
Things that we're paying for now.
And you're doing
Things-
traditional.
And we're gonna
postage
discuss that at committee of the whole, the next committee of the whole
Yeah.
meeting will be
Yeah,
discussed.
yeah.
When is that?
Next committee is whole,
Would
week
be-
after next.
Next Thursday.
Thursday. 5:30.
And then you're bringing that information back on March 1st to us.
Yes.
Are they doing any type of campaign for the Sheriff's Road Village for the February election?
I don't know what to do.
I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know.
Haven't seen anything yet.
Anybody's-
I've
This is
been,
the core flyer.
I've been out and about and asked people if they even know about the February election. And the majority do not.
I know Cora's been getting their information out in our county and down here. We've seen that. They send it to all the townships and to different people.
I've gotten 2 things at my house already.
Yeah.
from core.
We had
Well, the villages for voting that February, May, August. They'll probably be in the paper. So,
we had a law enforcement meeting last week and the sheriff understood. So strategy on their signs, they have a bunch of signs. Ask go around, they said they were gonna start putting out 2 or 3 weeks before. And I know the sheriff, took going to more of the townships and trying to hit up places, talking with, where people go in shops and those type of things. I know he's been trying to get out there more, that's what he says.
So the sheriff is promoting and they're going to be putting up signs.
Yes. So back to the Headley. What year was it that we tried this at Field?
2016.
I know we've had some conversation about this, but what were the big things then that we felt didn't, some happened right before the vote, right? That was a very big.
The
negative.
newspaper. The newspaper ran an article the Thursday before the Tuesday vote. And he was against it.
Well, but he said in there, only homestead property owners will be paying the tax.
So there was false information.
Oh, yeah. So I went in and I didn't know that until I went and asked, oh, you're voting for the Headley? No. I said, well, why not? Because it's only homestead people that are paying for it. I said, that's not right. That's what the paper said. Read the paper and sure as shooting, that's what it said. And there wasn't any time to get it out.
Brenda, did you go ask Breck what we lost by? Because I know it was less than
It
100.
was less than 100.
Yeah, it wasn't by much, even that was in there. But my dad would have voted for that. But it just homestead and property, and we lost a lot of votes because of that.
Well, at least there's less people that really get the paper anymore. I mean, if there's been a huge
True,
transition.
but that's also a good way to get information out to people.
It is.
And now people aren't utilizing it. So
It is.
I don't have Friday nights a whole summer to hand flyers out like we did the last time either.
But there's not something going on every Friday night down in town anymore.
That's what I'm saying. The summer we did this, I was out there every single Friday night. We had downtown events.
Right.
And
Yeah,
lots of
Friday.
people out. So there was great volumes of people to discuss it with the flyers. We don't have that right now. And people aren't reading the newspaper.
You're gonna have to drive social media, social media.
Which we talked about having that Facebook page.
We did.
Just really need people to get on board with sharing that to get that out there.
So Facebook, social media is our avenue.
And unfortunately, because I know it costs money, but the mail, I mean, I believe that's like my husband, somebody completely detached from our world in government. That's the only time he gets he reads if it's in the mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. And Roscommon's going for 2 mil.
2?
Oh,
it's 2.
Oh my gosh.
Next month.
But it's all their emergency
Public
services.
safety.
I mean, we have one
Public
bill
safety.
for road patrol, so.
No, we still have sheriff's department road patrol millage, separate from that.
Separate from the 2.
But you said it's EMS.
Yeah, I was just
The
reading.
county.
Yeah, this is what it says. It says that, this is the motion. Special millage for public safety services. And then they specifically list Roscommon County seasonal patrols, sting, jail operations and programs, security, security upgrades within the Roscommon County building, emergency management. But,
Wow, so it doesn't list 911
No.
or sheriff's department.
No, and.
Just special road patrol.
Because 911 has their own.
Village.
And they have jail operation in there
They have jail operations.
also.
Well, because there isn't, I mean, jail comes right out of general fund, so
Sure.
obviously they're trying to list things that are coming right out of the general.
That's why it's 2.
And that's, and if we were to do, the jail on there, it would have to be 2 bills just for the jail.
Could be something we do like at our next meeting. I just don't think we need to do it today, but look at like a calendar of big events up until May. And events, maybe try to get a few people to quarterback, say, Charlie, I quarterback this event where I go hand out. Karen, you go quarterback this event and hand out. Might not hurt. I'm probably only so many decent sized events before the vote.
Right, right.
But I don't know what the laws are. But, there's a lot of voters out there at the high school too. There are a lot of voters. So maybe I talked to the finance guy that our city, I think that's what his name is.
Matusik.
Matusik.
Going to basketball games and stuff.
And, I don't know, maybe they can have them available for students if the student wants to pick one up or something. I don't know what the laws are. I don't even know if we can do that.
You can't campaign in the school.
Okay, then we can't do it.
Government building.
Schools, you can't campaign like an elected official. You cannot campaign at the school. I don't know about a village, but I know
Right,
Probably the same laws.
yeah,
would
public,
think so.
yeah, public, yeah.
But I thought as committee as a whole, maybe we ought to talk about, you know, how you want to do that.
Next week will be a big meeting for that because we gotta get this worded
Mhm.
done and so we can approve it at our
Yeah.
next meeting and then
So we,
already in March.
Randy and I created this document. I emailed that out to everybody on the committee.
Mhm.
Brenda took that information and went to Office Central and had these created, thinking that we need to condense this down and have a nice visual. So this is great. I think this is a great start for condensing
Yeah,
all
it
of
is a
this
start.
information.
But we're not on until the May election, so we have a little time to work with that.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully, by March first, we have to have a product. Yeah, the first thing we gotta do is find out what things we can get.
Yeah, we're trying by March first. We're not meeting till March first.
Yeah. I know, but it'd be here.
We could work on one March first.
Yeah, you set the next meeting for the committee for March 1st.
We could set it sooner.
You
I
have,
just think,
and then on your agenda, you have, a couple of things, recommendation from millage sponsors, millage is sponsored by,
well, that's what we did today, please. And sponsored by, so I know the shelter's doing this one.
okay, so
I
that,
know
that's all,
Commission on Aging is doing this one.
all part of determining what millages are on
Right.
what ballot.
That was
Okay,
the whole
that's all
thing,
goes
yeah.
together.
Is there a reason we're not meeting in February?
You thought we were in February? It's okay.
Okay, we're all good.
Let's be February.
It's been a year already, right?
Second. We kind of shoot like second Friday, is that what we?
I just been picking days, really. February.
8th?
We could do February 2nd. Not a holiday, is it?
On the, are you gonna stick with Friday mornings?
Yeah,
Okay, so February,
let's do, and I'll have to let everybody know it's gonna be February 2nd, because we told them March 1st.
9 AM.
You'll have the commissioner's decision by then.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna have a next week at COW, we'll have.
Or you just have one of these meetings
Right, that's all we're gonna have.
and
But
then
people
March.
think our next meeting's March, well, they can still think it's March 1st.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because they really don't need that.
that's what I mean, yeah.
No, we don't need them here at all. But, yeah, okay, February 2nd sounds good to me. I am sorry, good thing you brought that to my attention when you said not having a meeting in February.
I'm
All right.
I thought-
I'm not here.
That's why we're all here to help each other.
Huh?
I won't be here. I'm in Lansing for training on the 2nd, so I'm just letting you know I won't be here on the 2nd, but
All right, thank you.
Then you also have on here number 2, a copy of entire budget is on county website.
It was last time. That's what I was told last time.
I didn't know, did you need to discuss that? You have it on the
No.
agenda? No,
I just wanted to let people know what is on the website.
okay,
That's all, because, you know, they ask about the budget, it's on the website. Go look at
Okay.
it. That's a reminder for me, really.
okay.
So, and I took it off the last agenda. So I'm gonna report again. Okay, so,
I mean, there's serious concern here with voter fatigue, right?
Serious.
I mean, listening to how many,
And that wasn't all of the
That wasn't all the
townships.
townships.
and
Yeah.
everybody is discussing how much a can of enchilada sauce is right now.
Mhm.
I understand that. So there's 2 villages on that I know of for February, and that's Core and Roll Patrol. That's almost 2. So that's 2. On Major 6. August, there's 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know about the townships or anything.
Yeah.
But good point to have them X amount of years, so they stagger, so we don't have everything come up the same year. Like it happened this year.
Yeah.
How many are renewals? How many are?
Um, The shelter's new. EMS is new. Trans is a new millage, library is a new millage. And that's,
EMS,
where it just says library,
EMS equipment, that's new.
that's new, yeah.
Yeah,
The Headley in May is new.
voter fatigue is a very big concern.
So we got 6 new.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what their timelines are yet because they haven't submitted any language.
3.
So all we can do is look at ours and stagger our timelines, but some of these other ones, we don't know what they're, if they're doing 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah.
No control over it.
But if it's gonna come up the next year, maybe we could call them, says, would you like to make it longer or shorter? For this millage, because what's gonna happen is all these millages are gonna come back up the same year again. We're gonna be in the same situation we're in right now.
We as a county just have to make sure ours are staggered.
That's right. That's right. Like things and stuff like that. That's right. That's right. You're right.
Okay, so you have on here paid for by the County Restoration Millage Committee. The committee can't have an address of here, correct?
It did last time.
It did, okay. I thought it had to be separate from the county, and if that being the county address, I wasn't sure about that.
I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. That is what was done last time.
Yeah, I would.
With the annex building
It makes
address.
sense, it should be an outside address.
I don't think it can.
Mhm.
Can we make it a, can't make it a post office, but it's gotta be a location, doesn't it?
Mhm. Has to be a street.
Tracy's house?
Brenda's house.
Make it my, you can make it my house. I don't have a problem with that.
Thanks, Brenda. How are we gonna raise money for that?
Now, here's some suggestions, okay? I can go out to Clear Lake Fire. I'm a friend of a friend that knows the guy that owns the place out there. They do really well out there on fundraising with the Clear Lake Fire. So, if you want to do a fundraiser like that, I'd be happy to go out there and we gotta word it what the fundraiser's for.
And you have to set up a committee, and you have to do accounting, and you have to file all that paperwork.
Yep, you do. I have done that before.
Mhm.
Is that what we did in 2016?
Good question.
Mhm. Yeah, Gary took care of all the filing of all the election paperwork for
A lot
us.
of us just donated money.
A lot of
I was gonna
us
say.
donated money.
Remember how much
I don't
cost,
I can tell you the first round of flyers, I went to commissioners and said, I need some money to print some flyers, and they all opened their wallets and gave me cash, so.
And it's gonna depend. Are you doing a laminated flyer? Are you doing this? Is the
This-
mailing
this
on a
is it.
laminated flyer
It could
cheaper
be
than
current
an
stock.
envelope? And I know there's a cost to put them in the newspaper. Depending
The
on what
stuffer.
areas, just to have them stuff. And unfortunately, there's no tax bills going out that they can be put in the tax bills during that time. period.
Karen, would you mind being the treasurer of this?
You know what, I would say, I wouldn't mind, Charlie, but I'm entering my busiest period right now with tax settlement and tax collection. And I have 4 land bank projects, so I feel like my plate is full right now.
Right now, it's honest.
Statutorily, the courts can't be involved. I mean, I can participate in these meetings, but I can't have my name listed as,
I called Nick yesterday just to verify.
I know.
Because,
I can't sit on my kids' youth football league board.
uh-huh. Anytime where it appears that we are, because
No,
it's a
so-
fine, it's a fine line, I
Yep.
think. Because even though we're trying to say it's information only, it's going to read as though we're supporting this.
Mhm.
And we have titles that are directed.
And I understand that completely.
Yeah, so sorry. We'll help as much as we can. At least that's what
Right.
I've looked at.
Yeah,
But
sure, absolutely.
I double checked with our regional administrator yesterday just to make sure that I was feeling the right way. And he was like, yeah, that's,
Kind of like when I did something as a commissioner a few years back when I was commissioner the first time.
Yeah.
And of course, it made the paper. And people were wanting to give me gas cards and all, and I said, no, I can't take that. I can't take that. It's against the law. so I couldn't take them.
Well, Breck is gonna be our expert as far as what paperwork needs to be filed. I'm sure we could ask her. I don't think she would mind. Do you, Tracy, about making sure all the proper paperwork is filed for this committee?
Think she would mind. Again, I think she's feeling a little overwhelmed with election stuff as I am.
Jim should be able to do that.
Tim?
Jim should be able to do that.
He's on the Zoom. You can ask him.
Tim, are you here?
I'm here.
Oh. Would you, we want to do fundraisers. Can you put all that paperwork together for us, for this committee?
For what?
Let's say we want to have a fundraiser.
The
for
Headley
Clear Lake Fire.
restoration.
Yeah, I mean, I can look into that and provide what I can find. I won't profess to be expert at it, but I'll certainly give it my best.
Okay, well, Karen has done it before. You probably have gleaned a lot of information, Karen.
Yeah.
I didn't. Gary did all that.
Oh, that's right.
I was just in charge of promotion and flyers and going to meetings, and I was just kind of the face of it, being out and promoting it. I didn't file the paperwork.
Tim could contact Jody Valentino, the controller in Roscommon. You know, she does that for
Okay,
Roscommon.
thank you.
Sure, and I remember there's a pamphlet or something that's out that kind of outlines all this too, so I'm pretty confident we can get it covered.
So, well, but, there's been a name thrown out there now from a individual from Roscommon County, does it all the time, so. rather
Right.
than- Oh, did you hear?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Instead of reinventing the wheel, so you can do it maybe in a day or two, at the end of it, to get the paperwork going.
We want to try to get some signs made. That'd probably be our biggest expense.
I think we gotta figure out how we're gonna raise money first and then figure out how much money we have to spend and then figure out what our best bet is to spend it
For
on.
marketing.
No,
Whether it be
I understand. that, but
flyers,
if we
signs.
have an idea of what we would, then we have a goal in mind of what money to reach too.
Mhm. I'm not even sure how much like those yard signs cost. I've not looked into that.
They can be a pretty penny.
So it all depends what kind you get too.
Mhm.
I'd get those. cheap
We get our
cards.
crafters together and have them do it on the crickets.
Yeah. JP.
But you know what I'm saying? It all depends what kind you get. I like those flimsy ones. In fact, the flimsy ones stand up better than those real hard ones. If the wind comes along, goes like this, and lean them back, getting rid of them. Those flimsy ones, they got two things that are wide apart like this. They seem to stand up pretty good.
I'll look into some costs. I did some for my campaign. And I'll look back at that, just to have some information for our February meeting.
Okay.
Didn't do much for my campaign because I already had signs issues. Yeah. Change the name. Forget the printing. But I can do that because it was in the same district 4. I didn't change. Otherwise I couldn't have.
Do most of these millages that already exist, do they do a lot of yard signs?
For renewals?
I don't think so.
No. I don't remember seeing a lot. No, I don't think so.
I know the sheriff's department, like you said, sheriff is, because they already have a bunch. They just gotta.
Mhm. New ones often.
Well,
Remember
right,
when MSU went, there were yard signs everywhere.
Yeah.
but renewals not typically.
I don't think so. Did you guys do yard signs?
We did.
17 did.
Mhm. They were red, white, and blue restoration signs. Yeah.
They probably just said, vote Headley, yes.
I'd have to go, I'll have to look and see if I have my notes from that, because I was the one who ordered the signs, but
It could still be in some.
Do you know where
parts.
the signs are?
Right? Yeah, we're on the signs.
Yeah.
I don't know where the signs are.
Oh, man. Somebody probably just threw away.
Depends on how generic they are. That's the thing too.
Right.
Keep them as generic as possible so they can be reused in the future.
Right. I
I've
don't,
still got all my signs saved. I lost a lot of them. I lost probably 50 signs that last election.
Yeah, think about it, Karen. You never know. I mean, they could be sitting in
right,
somebody's,
in
you know.
somebody's storage room
Yeah,
somewhere here in this
yeah.
building.
It could be.
Yeah.
Who
I'll
was
look-
all, who was all part of that committee pushing that? I know I don't have
It
them.
was employees. You know,
Well, maybe somebody does.
it was
have.
just employees doing it. So,
So on this thing, I mean, just folding like this without this page, still have enough room on it. We could do a card stack at 4.5. I'll get something together and pass it around to you guys.
did you get any costs from Office Central for this?
No,
No? Do you want to talk to them about costs for a trifold or a bifold?
Yeah. I will. I'll do that today.
We need to get a
Today, I'll
cost
do that.
for
I'll do that
mailings.
Friday,
What
Monday.
it costs for us to mail them. I think you made a good point. A lot of people, they still do look at their mail.
Yeah. Jury duty at least, right? Seriously, I think it's the only thing. Bills are like paid, you know, electronically now, you get statements or whatever, but
Maybe some people.
Yeah.
Not all.
not all, you're right.
I get this much junk mail a day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I got a bunch yesterday, threw it all away, it's all junk mail.
But you do look at it to see if
Look at
it's
it.
junk mail or not, so.
Right.
you-
Oh, yeah, you have to look at.
I mean, if you see this Ogemaw County, you'd be a little more likely to, well, what is, you know,
Okay, the next meeting is.
But this green and white doesn't stick out. You need more color.
So we have a lot of thoughts moving forward, but wouldn't one of the first major things that we need to get done like immediately as soon as possible is form the committee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we can conduct business so that the committee can conduct business.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So that's Tim.
But if the signs are still available, we want the same committee address because there's some.
Oh, right.
Well, and this can be changed on here, no problem.
So
I don't know. I'll have to ask Chris if he knows where they're at.
Hopefully
They
they
could be
weren't,
stuck
hopefully
in-
they weren't in that little shed that was across the thing.
you know what, they could be over at the jail in cold storage.
They could be.
It could be.
Well, they shouldn't be stored on county property,
no, they shouldn't.
I guess that's right.
but if they are, whatever, I'm just saying.
Next time that we'll.
Next time,
somewhere else.
get it off to a property.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't.
Worth the brainstorm, just to think of maybe something.
Yeah, I'll do some research today and see if
Gary, no?
she might. I know.
Yeah, because don't you even have to account for that afterwards? Like, I'm trying to think, you have to file with the clerk so many days after the election.
You have to file
more
before
expenditures.
and have to file afterwards your accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, with
Expenses.
So,
if it's over $1,000.
Oh, only if it's over $1,000.
Yeah.
Everybody.
This will be
who
over
donated,
$1,000. All the money that came in, how it was received,
Mhm.
what they,
Can an individual person,
Donate?
you know, have their name on here?
No, it's a certain individual that the committee is, I'm trying to think of what. With all the elections that we had last year.
No, I mean, instead of the committee paying for it, individual, just paid for by,
oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, the paid for by.
yeah, that's the only thing, let's say paid for by Denise Simmons and her address.
Or just paid for by the committee.
I think it has to be by the committee. You would donate to the committee would pay for it.
I'm just
I
asking,
think is how it works. I'm no
Okay,
election expert by
fine.
any means.
that's fine, I'm just asking.
I think you have to form your committee, accept donations to the committee, and the committee pays the expense.
But she's saying if that person didn't want, they did it all on their own and it was their cost completely. I don't,
That's what I'm saying, yes.
It's a question for Rec and the Bureau. No.
Reckon the borough can, did you find that out? And if an individual can just donate flyers,
the individual wouldn't be donating the flyer, the individual would be,
paying for the flyers.
yeah.
I wouldn't say, it'd say paid for by Denise Simmons and your address. And I'm not saying Denise Simmons paying for anything, I'm just giving a name out there.
So Brenda, is your angle on this, if we get individual sponsors, then we don't even have to form a committee?
No, you still have to form a committee.
Yeah. It's still there.
Because this would be, kind of like a donation in kind.
Which would have to show on the committee form.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Yes.
it's still gonna have to show.
It's still gonna have to show,
Yeah.
but it's not paid for by the committee.
Would you like to be treasurer?
I could.
That would be wonderful.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, we got a treasurer.
And the secretary
Congratulations.
for taking minutes.
Thank you.
I hate minutes.
I know, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna have time.
I'll be on the committee to help.
So,
I'll be on it. Opie, you want to be on the committee?
No. So the committee, we have a treasurer, secretary treasurer. These, Election on committee.
I don't know, I'm trying to find the law there.
How much time are you requiring on the committee outside of,
Not a lot.
because
This won't be a lot.
I don't have outside time. I barely have enough in,
I don't-
in time
I
to
don't
do
see this
anything in
being a
here.
huge time consuming thing.
I'll have a lot of outside time.
No, I don't see this.
Those of us that are not elected can't serve on a committee during 20 hours.
No.
Right,
Yeah, but you can put
right.
signs out after hours.
All the way to Mayo.
On his way home.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm dealing with absentee ballots from here on out until the February election. So
Okay,
I don't have outside time right now.
I have some time. Yeah, we do.
I'll have time in April.
Huh?
I'll have time in April,
Yeah.
the February, March, with all the assessment rolls coming in and getting ready for board review and my whole process.
Yeah, I'll have a thin line of time, probably in Marchish, because in April I'll have absentee ballots again.
Charles,
What's that, Brenda?
who's gonna have some?
I'm gonna name Charles. Sure.
So Charles Wiltie is the chair of this committee. This is like the fundraiser committee, right?
Yes.
And sign committee and all that.
No, that's the restoration committee.
This is just had the restoration. Committee.
A public body or person acting for a public body shall not use or authorize the use of funds, personnel, office space, computer hardware or software, property, stationery, postage, vehicles, equipment, supplies, or other public resources to make a contribution or expenditure or provide volunteer personal services that are excluded from the definition of contribution, da, 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 da. And
What did the first part of that say?
that a public body or a person acting for a public body. And then it lists all the things that you shall not use.
We can't use the county computer and prayer.
No, I know that. Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep scanning the statute here. I was just pulling that out for you.
So I'll be chair of this. I'll get with Tim to make sure what we can do and addresses and all that. We won't
Okay,
let
this is
this
the Headley
get, we
Committee.
went let this get bound us down any longer.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
So this is,
Why don't you? can buy
Well, we're calling the
addresses.
Headley Committee,
Clerk's
right?
office,
The Headley
board of registration's pretty.
Or-
inexpensive.
Yeah.
And then you got-
Restoration Millage
Instead of
Committee,
sending it to
whatever you wanna
the
call
household, You target those that vote.
Just,
The mailing list for the voter registration list is not that, it's pretty inexpensive as far as things go. Then you got labels put in, if we're putting these in an envelope to stuff.
yeah, I might be able to give a couple hours after work one night to help stuff envelopes or something, but depending on when and.
and you can get from the state. The stickers and everything. That are already
You have to
done.
buy them, but
Have to
yeah.
buy 'em.
Yeah,
I'll start working on this. I'll be in touch with you and then we'll talk about it more. in our-
and I gotta get some information that I'll give to you.
Right. Brenda, you'll get class sent
Yeah.
from Upper Central.
I'll get the cost on these too.
And I'm gonna work on signs.
Now, we're gonna put them in envelopes. We could put them in envelopes. All you gotta do is stuff them.
I think cardstock's better.
I think cardstock is too.
Some people don't open envelopes,
So like a postcard type cardstock,
sort of like what they had there for Ford.
but that won't be able to be mailed unless you put it in an envelope, unless you're only doing one side.
The one I got at home from them was more,
Yeah,
Envelope
like a
size.
bigger postcard.
It was
Did you get
bigger.
one?
Yeah, I got one
Give
too,
you
yeah.
the sizes that are acceptable, and it could be a postcard with a label on it to mail out.
Yeah, that one was like, maybe this size.
Like a 6x8 kind of thing, right? In the mail.
Instead of sending this, you mean?
Yeah.
You fold this and you put it in an envelope that requires someone to open the envelope. And if they don't know who it comes from, they go.
If the last election, the post office found special rates out, and you could do flyer size or whatever material, and they'll do every address on their route. And it was fairly inexpensive to do it through them. And that might be something we need to look at, and then you can determine what it is that we're sending out. Because a lot of them, they were different sizes, they got a different cost and. We looked at it for election stuff, for other stuff, but they're. It's cheaper than first class postage. to do
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is.
First class
It is.
postage.
Randy, did you quarterback that?
Post office played games, yeah.
And contact post
Post office
office.
played games with me last time with that deal. They said they couldn't. Then afterwards, I saw somebody else did it. I said, you said, oh, the rules just changed.
So Randy's
I had to
gonna
redo
look into
everything.
that for us.
Double work. Okay, so Randy,
Okay.
you're in charge of postage. Brenda, fire.
A side note, I've been meaning to ask you, is there gonna be any changes with the contribution to Kirtland? Based on, no,
For the rest of our lives.
No, that was a permanent village. Putting effect with all four counties as an establishing authority, part of the Community College Act, so there's no,
and then regardless of the location that it's.
its main location is still in the four counties.
But I thought
Proper.
the original millage stated that it was to be centrally located.
Now it's at the most.
The statute doesn't require that, so that's.
I was just curious, I didn't mean to like stroke the fire, I just didn't know if that was
Oh, it's.
when we talked about.
But the other thing is, right,
Pretty good.
if they sold Kirtland Cutlet, why are we still paying that?
Oh, wait,
The old,
They sold the old campus.
They still have a college.
and that still hasn't gone completely finalized, you know that?
oh,
Even though it made it to the paper?
Oh, yeah, because
It's
that was
sold.
just the initial.
It sold twice already. To be honest,
Oh, okay.
all right.
they did a memorandum of land contract and the people who bought it did a.
Oh, land
to
contract.
Another corporation, which they control, but
I
now
see.
it's under Cape or something LLC. Or a nonprofit eventually. At least that's their time.
So, but even we have a
Definitely
hard time like
tribunal-
this, we're still
tribunal
gonna need
decided that
stickers
they are
put
tax
on these
exempt,
to mail.
The label.
Say what, say what?
The tribunal has decided they are tax exempt,
Oh,
so.
So
They're,
there'll be no
uh,
taxes for
It's a
them.
good meeting tomorrow. It's lawyers.
that's awesome.
Tribunal case.
That's awesome.
So,
That sounds fun.
For 22 and 23, because there's new owners in 24, they're not a community college. They won't be exempt for 2024.
Okay.
All right, what else we got, Brenda?
that's about it. Well, I gotta look in about the stickers, about. Are you doing that?
The mailing labels.
Mailing labels,
Yeah, are you doing that?
I
The
can.
the clerk's office used to produce them. I don't know if that's something.
I was gonna get with
Should be
Gary
able to
Clack,
get-
because Gary Clack,
She sent it, just sent it out to, our printer for the postcards about the 9-day voting. Somehow she can pull just a household address
yeah,
label. She just did it. She just sent the file out. Cause we have to send those postcards out here in a couple weeks.
So we get a cost from that for the mailing.
So we would have to find out how much it would cost.
Gypsy Moth.
Well, I mean, she could probably send you the file. It's just
Alright.
who's gonna print them and,
Is that by township?
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
it'd be done here unless.
It gives us an idea of how.
What if,
Right.
because people are greatly affected by that, right? Does that stir up a lot of controversy in Ogemaw County when there's areas that aren't treated for gypsy moth and people
Well, the
complain
township
about the
doesn't
trees?
pay for it.
Ogemaw County was wise enough to not do a countywide millage for gypsy moth, so it's up to the individual township, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have to concern whether it covers an area or not.
And then the township spot spray. They don't spray the entire township, they spot spray.
Yeah,
Oscoda County, like Roscommon County, did a countywide village, which is not even close to being adequate, which just causes a lot of trouble.
I'm sure it does.
Could you, and you can't piggyback that off of like a service that would be part of the Headley?
The county doesn't provide that as
No.
a service.
So,
What if it did?
They're not going to. It's up
Yeah.
Well, I can't say they would.
I wouldn't even go that route.
They did not consider it a couple of years ago when it was presented to them, and they left that for the local units to do.
So were you here at the beginning?
No.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
what we have right now is, and Tim's listening in, he's going to find all the things that are not mandated that we pay for out of the general fund.
Mhm.
And then on this, we'll tell the people, if the Headley doesn't pass, these are the things that'll be gone.
No, I understand. I was just trying to think of things that could be something that hits the voters' heartstrings.
Well, gypsy moth ain't gonna hit it.
See, and it's very it is like a big deal north. That's probably why it's a countywide millage in Roscommon County.
I know that their GIS department's been a big part of that,
Yeah.
and so they're cutting that because
Okay. Just trying to think of other things that would like.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good thinking. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's what we're here
It is good thinking.
Okay.
So we're gonna meet again on February first, is that correct?
Second,
Second,
Second, I got it on your second. All
Good.
right,
need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, cause I need to go get a twofold.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm hitting the side of
It's
the.
bigger now than when we
Yeah.
started. The face is more swollen now.
it is.
I'm in pain like no other right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready, honey?
Right.
Thanks,
Carly, I'll second.
Meeting's adjourned at
Adjourned at
10:41.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Everyone be safe.
Yeah.
It's 2 feet of snow we got coming.
Yeah. 18 inches, I heard.
we are now blizzard.
Oh, Denise.
Karen, do you want?
Oh, it's 40.
Really appreciate